Hello and welcome to Around the Air Force. The Air National Guard will soon have a new director. Chief of the National Guard Bureau, General Craig R. McKinley, announced that President Bush will nominate Major General Harry Wyatt to the U.S. Senate for confirmation. Once confirmed, Major General Wyatt will be promoted to Lieutenant General and succeed General McKinley, who served in the position for over 2 years. In Lithuania, Fuels Airmen are working to keep their mission rolling of air policing the Baltic states. Tech Sergeant Greg Bluthman brings us this report.
F-15s from RAF Lakenheath are in Lithuania supporting a 3-month tour of the Baltic air policing mission. And one critical need to support this mission is fuel.
Jets can't fly without gas, so we're very important here.
Important indeed, but their job isn't without its challenges. In Lithuania, they use a different type of jet fuel, which means extra work for the fuels team.
We get the fuel from the airport. It's Jet 1A. We have to change it to JP-8 with 2 additives. We have to mix it, and then we test it, and we can refuel it back to the aircraft.
But even with all the challenges, there's a sense of accomplishment that comes with supporting this vital mission.
When we put gas on these jets, we know they're going to go up there, and they're going to protect the country. So we get we feel rewarded knowing that we're contributing to their security here.
And to ensure that security, the Fuels Airmen will continue to deliver gas, making it possible for the pilots to carry out their air policing objectives. Tech Sergeant Greg Bluthman, Cholet Air Base, Lithuania.
In order to complete the mission, airmen must look out for their own, and knowing self-aid and buddy care techniques can be the difference between life and death. Staff Sergeant Mike Slater takes us to Afghanistan for this story, where looking out for your wingmen is a common theme among warriors.
Afghanistan's National Police and National Army are heavily involved in the fight for a free Afghanistan.
They really want to make a difference, and you know, they're out there fighting the bad folks out there. So it's good for them to know how to you know, render care to their fallen.
Staff Sergeant Nestor Albalos is training these Afghans self-aid and buddy care. The knowledge is especially important for this group. When asked how many of them had been shot, about a quarter of their hands went up.
Yeah, they're out there. They're exposing themselves. They're out there walking the beat or walking on the bazaar, and I mean, a lot of people are targeting them because they're trying to do right by their country.
The training doesn't just benefit the Afghans.
They also go out with the Army folks, the police mentoring team, so they can render that care to an Army soldier.
Knowing the person fighting next to you has been properly trained makes everyone breathe a little easier, no matter what their nationality. Reporting from Afghanistan, Air Force Staff Sergeant Mike Slater.
Before our airmen get to the AOR, they have to learn how to survive in case of an emergency. Senior Airman Lana Mills has this story on how Spangdahlem Airmen are training on combat survival.
As a survival, evasion, resistance, and escape specialist,
you have to assume that somebody saw you coming down.
It's Master Sergeant Todd Erickson's job to make sure that aircrew members are trained in combat survival.
We start with the 5 phases of evasion. It's a sequential operation that would start while they're still in the aircraft, and it runs through all the way to where they actually get recovered by friendly forces.
The training starts with taking airmen out of their usual environment and dropping them off in the middle of nowhere, Germany. Once out in the woods, the airmen follow a demonstration of what would happen if they were to land on the ground and become an isolated person.
Make sure that you're camouflaged up well.
While hiking through the forest, Master Sergeant Erickson explains each of the processes they will go through to survive. They're shown everything from how to hide from enemy forces to telling time.
14:10 and 14:20.
Even though the 9-hour day is long and will go well on into the night, Sergeant Erickson is happy to be training these airmen on skills that may save their lives one day.
My favorite part is not being in the office typing on a keyboard. I get to come out here and do an honest day's work.
Senior Airman Lana Mills, Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany.
For more on today's top stories, log on to Air Force Link. For Around the Air Force, I'm Senior Airman Robbie.